Good morning and welcome in everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I want to go over a quick synopsis of what is transpiring so far in the crypto market. XRP, after having a drop down to about that $2.65 level, which was the top of the fair value gap we discussed yesterday, is this a tap of the fair value gap at that $2.60 range? As Nick has described, it goes anywhere between $2 and roughly 57-cent area all the way up to $2.65. So it technically tapped the fair value gap. So that's a good thing to see. So that was a nice reversal yesterday to actually tap that liquidity zone. And now we've reversed all the way back up to $3.16. We've got some volatility throughout the rest of the market. But right now, this is everything you would want to see. After that extreme pull down, we formed a channel, which I thought it was a bullish channel we were in. As I said yesterday, we formed a bullish falling channel. And now we've bounced all the way back from the bottom of this channel, which was down at $2.65. Now we've come all the way back up to the top of the channel. Now, that is just me pushing it out into the future, but we can bring this back into real time, and this is how you can have it. And then if we were to break out somewhere around here, the technical breakup would be right around $3.70 if we get out of this channel. Right now we're at the resistance point, so this is a very, very important moment for us. Very, very important. In the smaller time frames, like in the 30 and 45 minute, you can see the exponential moving averages. We had a bullish cross and a golden cross in the 30 minute, which is a short-term reversal. So if this continues to push, we're going to have a healthy push up. And it's not just going to be XRP. It would be the utility tokens. I think IOTA's one to pay attention to under 30 cents. And a couple others. But anyhow, XRP with this falling channel, it looks like it's doing what it needs to do. We'll discuss this a little bit further here after I do the intros. I got to get my son to school at 8:20. It's a pretty busy day today. So we'll go over this in about 10 to 12 minutes. We'll do a short later. I'll be doing an extra update today because my son's got his food therapy today right after school. So about 12:15 p.m. I'll record another update, and then we'll have a short sometime before that update as well. So, and then I'll see everybody at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live. Last night I started at about 5:40. So anywhere between 5:30 and 6:15 is when I normally start it. Closer to 6 o'clock generally. Today will be closer to 6. So I look very much forward to that. So we can get further into the heat liquidation maps. On this update, I just want to focus on the price analysis without any of the noise on the outside. And as the day goes on, I will bring into light some of the news, the notes, and also the heat liquidation map as we get into the live tonight. So with that being said, good morning. 7:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I thank everybody for tuning in on this Tuesday morning. XRP is looking a lot healthier than it was yesterday. When I came on yesterday morning, we were about $2.70-something, and I said, I am not worried. This looks very bullish still. When you look at just the long-term prognosis of the pattern, you can see bullish propositions. However, in order for XRP to get us on that 100% on the right track, we've got to get out of this channel. These are typically bullish consolidations, assuming they don't break through. And right now, this is our third hit on the top. And we can say, technically, this is our third hit right here as well, if you want to look at it that way. I mean, it's up for your interpretation. But to me, you can look at it that way. Because you can definitely say in this area, we had one. So we had this hit the support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. So if you want to look at it like that, I have no problem with it. The pattern is telling us what it is. So we hit support on the drop, resistance on the pump, support on the dump, resistance on the little pump, support on the drop, resistance on the little push up. So we've already confirmed this pattern. Now we're just looking for a breakout or a breakdown. On a breakdown, you're looking at $2.15 roughly, actually a little bit lower. But again, to me, this is a bullish consolidation until the market proves otherwise. And yeah, you could fall to, okay, $2.09 in the future. But on a breakout, you're looking at $3.70 right now. So this would be the push, as we've been discussing, to all-time highs. Yes, it came down. I'm so very happy it did, because that FVG was glaring. And coming down to the top of the fair value gap zone is very important. It's so very incredibly important. So as of right now, we're not looking horrible. This is what we wanted to see for the bounce back. And now we're looking for a breach over the top in real time of $3. I'd say $3.19 would get the job done. Get over $3.19 and hold, and you have a first target up of $3.70. So technically, XRP, if this breaks bullish, you're looking at about a 15% continuation short term up to that $3.70. And then overall, you're looking much higher. You're looking at $4.29. And then overall, that $5.39 from the breakout of the pennant flag. And then from a bigger breakout from the descending wedge of almost 7 years, we have a $5.49 target. And then if everything goes 100% on track, you technically should be able to come up to $6.79. So that's in totality. So that's what we're going to be watching for as these weeks and months continue on. I expect this to take place by March. And then I expect a complete reversal in some point in late March, to where this should have already completely fulfilled. We go through a new cycle, and that's generally where you'll get a lot of volatility to the downside, at least corrective volatility. So if we can play this properly, this should bring us up through March. Despite the up and down, left and right ebb and flows, it doesn't really mean much to me. Like I said, I would still pay attention very much so to algo with a huge bull flag that is yet to even start breaking out of the pole structure, which means it's got the full velocity and testicular push that it can possibly have through testicular fortitude here, as long as it doesn't break down. IOTA, again, another one that has 2 consecutive bullish inverted hammers. These are super bullish. Now, if it breaks down, obviously it invalidates it, but it doesn't look that way to me. XRP, we can see it's already breaking out of the pole, and it's still got about 50 to 65% of that move left. So it's still a rather large move to be made. It looks like it wants to push that mid $5 level. Algo looks like it's eyeing that $3 plus level. IOTA's looking like it's targeting a pretty substantial level as well. So there's some moves to be made here. There's a lot of moves to be made here. DGB's up 3%. It's another one that hasn't broke out of its pole yet, of the bull flag. So just pay very close attention. We'll get into some of those deeper analysis as we get into the live tonight. But as far as DGB, it's up to the resistance point of the short-term consolidation. We talked about this descending wedge or this descending triangle. I like the wedge kind of in this regard. These are super bullish. This is a super bullish consolidation. Now, if it were to break down, I'd be very disappointed. But this is reeking super bullish. And anybody who takes advantage of this or who has taken advantage of this and is patient, especially if you started buying around the 004 level and up with us, you're going to be very happy in the future. You're going to be very happy in the future. I don't know when. I don't know how. I don't know the exact scenario of why it's going to break out. But eventually, DGB is going to be searching that 4-cent level. This isn't even where it's seeking. This is the short-term seeker. But eventually, we're going to be seeking that 4.3 cent level. And then when we get there, we're going to say, oh my God, we had so much time. And, you know, from some of our buys, it's like 8 or 9x. Some of our buys will be at that point, 4x. So this is a very interesting dynamic we have with DGB. It's a beautiful consolidation, but we'll see, because the market's having so much volatility that we'll see when the time comes. XLM, we talked yesterday, that inverse head and shoulders is getting much nicer looking. It broke back on the top side of that falling channel. Some were saying yesterday that XLM was very bearish in my comments during the live, and I said I vehemently disagree. Not only do we have a flag that's playing out in a falling channel fashion, we have an inverse head and shoulders that I think is pretty clearly set up. It back tested the channel breakout, and that inverse right shoulder looks like it's about to break out, and that first layer is going to be up to 61 cents. Yes, we have this uptrend that was a cycle uptrend that we're going to have to get past at about 53, but the technical target out of here, first target 61 cents. And we can divulge for the further targets at 117, but we've got to get past this area first. But that looks like a super bullish consolidation to me. And yeah, there's a lot of ebb and flows here, and you're going to get a lot of up and down volatility. But until this breaks down and breaks our backs, there's no reason to think that this is bearish. After that drop yesterday and overnight, the night before, oh, it's fantastic what we ended up doing. Taking out the fair value gap on XRP is huge. And just some of the levels that we took out in the rest of the market is absolutely peril. With Bitcoin, we broke out of the symmetrical triangle. When we back tested it yesterday for a second time, I said, don't worry, this is beautiful. We held 97,000. That's all we could ask. That symmetrical triangle breakout now is targeting that 110,783. And then overall, if we can push past there, our technical target out of this cycle rally is technically 122,000. Until that falls, I still say the market still has more to do. Now, once we get to 122,000, that's where I deviate from when everybody's saying we're going to 1,250,000. We must see how we react at that level. If we don't react positively in that level, like you can take this away. This is dragged on too long. If we don't react positively in 122,000, that's where you could say, well, the cycle's ending, and now we might have some consolidation. I don't know why it's not deleting that. That's weird. Won't delete that. Sometimes TradingViews just, it has problems. So yeah, that's what we're looking at with Bitcoin. We have to get over that 110,783, and then ultimately to push up to the cycle target when we had the cup and handle when this breakout first started. That's at 122,000. If that plays out appropriately, when we get on top of that, the sky's the limit. But that could be the final rejection point as well, as that could form a big head and shoulders. And it would make sense for that to be a head formation. So we'll see how it plays out when we get there. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you're looking to trade crypto, make sure you look in the video description below and our pinned comments. You've got BITUNIX, which is the lowest spot and leverage trading fees and the lowest maker-taker fee, up there at the top. Many different cryptos, a no KYC exchange, so you can trade in privacy. You can do a KYC if you want, but I trade there in privacy, so my tracks aren't traced. HOTCOIN, you have IOTA, XDC, and VELO, and then so on and so forth, as you can see. Have a blessed morning, everybody. I'm going to get going. I'll see you guys in a little bit.